Hi, how you doing? It's Jeff back again with another short lesson. And in this lesson, we are going to be looking at double stop bends. Of course, we are also going to be looking at Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden, which heavily features double stop bends. But what is a double stop bend? Or in the case of these two songs, what are we playing to create that sound that you just heard me playing at the beginning? Well, it's always the same format that we're playing on. What we're doing, we're working across two strings. And in the case of the Nightcrawler, he's going to start off on the initial, that note, or them two notes. I said that note because what we're doing, we've got our first finger is always an anchor point. And in the case of this little lick, we are starting with our first finger, which is going to be anchored on the 12th fret of the high E string. Now, with our third finger, and I do support it with my second finger, we are going to bend that note up on the 15th fret, which is a D, and we're going to bend it up a whole tone until it's the same pitch as the E on the high E. So we are playing the note so the two should be in tune. And we bend them up as we play them. Now, you can hear it more when you're playing with distortion. You can hear the pulse wave between the two notes. So as I go up, I'm going to do this nice and slow. When I bend that up, you'll hear the pulse get really, it starts off very fast. And then as I get closer to the pitch, you'll hear the wave slow down. So we get... And at that point, the two notes are the same pitch. So we get this effect slightly out there. What I normally do, because you typically are moving these quite quickly, is put a little bit of vibrato on the top, on the B string. So you get a nice effect. So it's got that kind of energy behind it by going... Sounds very, very rock. Now, that's the pattern. We're always going to be doing that. Now, for Nightcrawler, the movement that we're doing is 12 to 13, back to the 10, going to the 12 again, and then 7, and then to the 10. So we are moving. That is the riff that was played by K.K. Downing in the song Nightcrawler. Things that we don't want to try and do when we play that. We don't want to hear the note drop out of the bend. We don't want to... You hear that's where the note on the B string is dropping out. It's coming out of the bend. We want to try and keep that bend up until we're just about to move. So we get this... I wouldn't say it's hard, but at the same time getting control of that bend, because that is the normal thing. When I'm working with any of my students, I do tend to hear that, because as they want to move, they release the bend down. So you've got to resist that. You've got to keep that. When you are releasing down, also what I tend to do is try and grab the strings and mute. Reason I'm kind of I thought about doing this is because in this month's premium channel, the song that I'm covering for this month's lesson is the song Nightcrawler. So when I was going through that part, I was recording the song and I thought, you know what, this is something that my students have a problem with. So I just thought I'd just go through that. You know, whether you've heard of a double stop bend, you was wondering what the double stop bend is. So hence the reason for this short lesson. But we are trying to get the two strings together. The more you practice, the more you will understand exactly what height you've got to push that string up. So that one there is Nightcrawler. Let's have a look what's got to be played when we do Run to the Hills. This is a little bit quicker. So if you start off with Nightcrawler, work through that, then start looking at Run to the Hills. Because we're doing this twice. So we're doing a... Then... Now there is a change on this, and normally we are playing just across the B and the E string, but the final part of Run to the Hills takes us across to the G and the B string. There's a slight different feel to get that. So let me just go through that leg. So Run to Hills, I have included in the tab, so you've got the link there for you just to play through and to just work on getting the accuracy of that bend when you're playing. Sound settings, what I've got for this, yes, I'm going through a distortion, but I do not put any delay on it. If you put the delay on it, it really messes with the sound a little bit. You get that after sound that can make it sound more out of tune. So it's just a very clean sound that I've got there when I'm playing that. I don't even have any reverb on that sound that I'm using there. Again, I don't want any after effect really messing with the sound on that bend, because if you're slightly out, the delay and the reverb, sadly, it's going to make it worse. So keep it nice and dry when you're working through that. The other thing that you've got to be really cautious of when you're playing, and I do see with my students, is that first finger moves up. So not only do they bend with the third finger, they bend with the first finger. So you get this, that sound, which clearly we don't want. So you're doing two different motions. You've got to really lock on with that first finger, and then let that third finger move up. The other thing I like to do with it, I also like to rake into it. And I'm sure you've noticed that I'm not targeting them two strings. So I'm kind of going through the G string, but the G string's been muted, so it just comes as a thud to get that sound. But it does sound really nice with that rake when you play into that. So do be aggressive when you are playing these double stop bends. Have fun, enjoy yourself. Don't forget, as I've said, this month on the premium channel, I am covering all of the guitar parts to Nightcrawler by Judas Priest. Great song, so it is. I know you're going to love learning that song. If you're not a premium member, I'll provide the links below. Just click on the link, that will take you across and you'll have all the information. It's only $6.99 a month, and that gives you access to everything that is posted on my premium channel. If you could just like the video, and even better, click on the subscribe button and click on that bell. More important than anything else, really, once you've subscribed, because that way you will be notified by YouTube whenever I'm posting any new content. Anyway, I will let you go. So until the next time,